they can't get Avengers, more than what they have. So at this time, and so they're
Pop it up.
Insert cash or select payment type.
Yeah, I mean, they can get it.
I know they can. They haven't.
They
have
everything.
They currently
Doesn't matter
cannot.
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast, presented by NotClub33.com. This week's show, we're still talking D23, and we're going to talk about, were these announcements enough to bring new fans to Walt Disney World? My name is Steve Rhodes, alongside of Becky Wells.
Hey.
Pat Neestad is with us.
What's up?
And asleep as usual, it's Bobby Burchins. Still talking D23 this week, Bobby.
Still?
Yeah, we are.
How long have we been talking about
just like last episode, I'm going to start with you. We talked about the pie in the sky, aka blue sky stuff in our show last time. This time we're going to talk about the concrete things that were announced, most of which we knew were coming. Journey of Water for Moana, the new fireworks at Epcot, them finally opening the rest of Epcot with World Celebration. We kind of got the surprise with Country Bears Jamboree and them swapping out Tough to Be a Bug with Zootopia. Are things like this enough? Are they enough to compete?
No. I said it before on one of the podcast episodes, from I think it was almost a year ago, where I kind of came clean with the kind of my love and my likes and everything like that. I'm a Disney Parks fan. I'm not necessarily a Disney fan. And if that makes any sense to anybody, in the sense that I'm not loving every single intellectual property that they release. I'm not waiting with bated breath every time that a movie comes out. And so I have to look at this from my perspective as both a local and from my perspective as someone who doesn't have kids. These attractions that they are trying to even just kind of release concepts of, whether it's Encanto, Moana, any of this stuff, it's doing absolutely nothing for me.
I'm talking about the concrete stuff that we know.
And even the concrete stuff that they have announced is really just putting lipstick on a pig at this point. Let's be realistic about it. It's Tough to Be a Bug. It is not a great attraction. It's not been a great attraction since 1999 when that movie was actually released. Country Bear Jamboree has never been like, the cult status of things like, the People Mover or Carousel of Progress or anything like that. So that to me is nothing that, like, of course you should have updated this, 30 years ago instead of just keeping around the same animatronics and everything like that. This is basic stuff that shouldn't be made into the big deal that it is. This should be like a kind of an under the rug announcement for a lot of these attractions, the concrete stuff that they're coming out with. A new fireworks show at Epcot. I mean, no shit. We've known that it needed a new, nighttime firework.
Well, it was already announced.
Right.
Now we just have a date. Yeah.
None of these things are drawing me any more to the parks than anything else that's out there already.
Pat, do you agree with Bobby's assessment on these changes?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to draw any new guests. I think what's going to draw new guests is obviously the Tiana ride, and that opens next year. So that gives some people something to look forward to. But as far as like 25, I don't think there's anything announced for 2025. Maybe some of this stuff that they like Zootopia. It seems like something they could do pretty quickly. But I don't think that would draw somebody to, they put a new Zootopia attraction in Animal Kingdom. Let's go. Now, if it was a whole land, I think people would be more inclined to go. But just something small like that, I don't think so. But it's Disney World; people are going to go anyways.
I think my sentiment on it is that people like us, we're going to go regardless of if they change it or didn't. And this is a lot of fodder for the blogosphere and the vlogosphere. Shows like this one, we're obviously talking about it, but we're the new customers, the people that are looking at, hey, I'm going to go see Harry Potter, or I'm going to go over here to Mario, and where is Disney getting these people from? Because, I mean, Bobby, you kind of alluded to it. Even some of the pie in the sky stuff they threw out there, I don't even know if that is going to bring people in. Becky, where do you stand on this?
I've got a couple thoughts. So first of all, D23, the expo is like not every year, right? So this is like the sub year.
Yeah,
Or
the destination
last
23.
couple have been just the like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's been bigger announcements on stuff given on a random day of the week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, our expectations, we even talked about this, were like tempered. Like, yeah, we'll see what they say and who cares, whatever, like, we'll see when it happens. I also think, like, Epic Universe, it's pushed to 2025. Like, I think there will be a couple new things that are available to be pushed as brand new by the time that opens. And you have to consider the gigantic reach that the Disney company has. It is on every single ABC, every bit of everything.
Sure.
They will put so much promotion out there for a new something in the parks, and they'll have every one of their hosts go do a preview, and then it'll be another whole show. Like, it's going to be bombarded, even if it's not like a brand new thing.
Well,
So I think in terms of competing to a degree, maybe, but I feel like Universal, for example, is still playing catch up to all of the massive expansion that we've had at Disney World in the last 10 years. Like, I've kind of heard this from a few places too, and I completely agree. Like, they are, having a new gate and everything, but they're still catching up from, like, we had Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land, like massive brand new things that we know take a very long time from concept to completion. So we don't know what's coming down the pipe for sure. We just know these teasers because they're like, shit, we have this like non-expo gigantic Destination D shit, and we have to say something. So we're going to say something, but we don't really know what's actually coming.
but
And
when
so I
you
feel like once they get closer, that they can tease it more, they'll make those big announcements to be like, oh, cool, Universal, guess what we're going to do? Like, I just feel like we
Fair
don't
enough.
know enough yet. And
But
the
but
new Disney goer will be excited because they will think it's new and exciting.
I get the media hype, and this circles back and right back to where Bobby started. Disney can hype this. They've got ESPN, they got ABC, Freeform, and all the other channels that Charter Spectrum lost for like 3 weeks that are finally back now. Anyway, they can hype this up, but they did the same thing with Journey of Water. We were talking pre-show about it, how it's just a thing. It's like,
And
okay,
nobody
it's nice.
cares.
It's nice park
Right.
ambiance, but it's not.
We
it's
know
not something to
that.
draw me in.
But we're not talking about us, though, like you said. Like, we're talking
So
about people like, oh my gosh, there's a Moana thing. And then they get there like, oh, it's kind of cool. It had nothing to do with what I thought. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, is somebody going to be like, but now there's this, oh, we got to go because I've been hearing about this thing. They don't know shit about it because they've never fucking been there to plan it in the first place.
But Becky,
So-
you brought up the big one here. What could possibly be bigger for Disney than Star Wars at this point? Of all the properties that they own, there could be nothing bigger out there that would draw new fans in particular than Star Wars. They kind of just hate to use this phrase, but shot their wad with it. At this point, there's nothing new that they own that's on the horizon that has the popularity or the reach like a Star Wars thing does. And
Well,
even
they did
Star
add
Wars
what's that?
failed
Ahsoka.
as a concept.
They're adding that.
Yeah, Ahsoka to Star Tours.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
And she'll
look,
probably
I mean,
they'll probably do meet and greets with her. They're already doing some of the meet and greets from the people
I forgot
from
about
Rebels.
that.
But
That will get a line. That will get a line.
People
we
go
also-
to see it. She's
we also
highly
forget-
popular.
We also forget though that the hotel failed. Like their
Yes.
their big
Yeah.
thing with Galactic Star Cruiser, just closed its, or is just about to close its doors here at the end of September. So
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
there's not anything that's on the horizon outside of.
but did that bring new people? But
Yes,
did that bring new people?
absolutely.
That was the question. I'm just answering the question. I didn't say these things were going to be great or worth it. I just said, do we think that the things that they're announcing, the way that they're going to come out, is that going to be enough to make people consider a first time dip in toe in the water of Disney World? Maybe. That's all. Does it
People
make
People have been
me
going to
give a
Disney World
shit?
since the
No.
70s, so
I don't see
yeah,
it doing anything more
strong.
than Star Wars could at this point. The only thing that could, make that big draw, that big
They
impact would be
can't
the
get
fifth gate.
They can't get Avengers, more than what they have. So at this time, and so they're.
Cough it up.
Yeah, I mean they can get it.
I know they can. They haven't.
They
They
Doesn't matter
have.
if they.
everything.
They
It doesn't
currently
matter if
cannot.
any new themed area land that they create. People are going to want to see it. Just
For sure.
My
gonna draw
question was
people.
more like, are they drawing in us, like, the stupid vloggers and people that go stand 3 hours in a virtual queue for a fucking cookie, or are they drawing actual people that haven't been in 10 years or have never been to Walt Disney World? Are they drawing those people away from
For
a
sure.
Universal
Yeah.
or away from going on a beach vacation or somewhere else? Are they getting new eyes on the Walt Disney World campus? That's
Sure.
kind
I
of where
think
I'm at.
so.
I don't.
People
I
have.
think.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
The
I
more they
don't
hear
see
about it, the more they have
especially-
FOMO. Yeah.
Yeah, but the FOMO thing that also kind of goes back to the revenge vacations that took place after the pandemic, where everybody was
necessarily.
trying to have that vacation of a lifetime and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on the nicest resorts and the premium ticket pack. Like crowds are dropping, at Disney, even though lines
Well,
aren't dropping,
and
but crowds are
Universal.
dropping.
I know what you're
Uh,
saying. I think over time, this is a constant thing because there's constantly another family with another generation of babies and kids that, like, we have to take them while they're young. This will always be the case. So if there's something new, that certainly could draw that demographic, because
Sure.
Universal isn't going to have shit that those kids can do in their new worlds. Like,
Minions.
That's true.
so there's constantly going to be that. And that was
Oh.
my answer to the question of, like, do I think it's going to be enough? It's always going to be enough at Disney World because they will make it seem like it is regardless of what happens.
Well, I just think Minions and Mario being two properties that that Universal is about to lean super heavy on. Like, I think those two
Well,
are
and-
going to
What will
draw
those
way
height
more
requirements
It's not
people
even-
to their parks than Encanto or Moana is going to
I don't
draw
know.
to
Like Super
Disney.
Mario's that's a pretty big, massive property for sure, 100%. But Minions, I don't know. I mean, didn't they just put it into one of their current parks?
They,
Oh,
And
yeah.
just like
They
it's a
already
little
have
ride where
other
you,
Minions
it's
rides
like a
too. Yeah,
conveyor
there's, like,
belt.
now
And you got to
there's-
you walk through it, and you're on like a conveyor belt or something. I mean, that's nothing special.
there's something else that they're supposed to open up.
But at Epic Universe, it's How to Train Your Dragon. Nobody really cares about that. Another Harry Potter land. Super Mario
People
Brothers.
care about that. Yeah.
I want to see Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And then Universal
for sure.
Monsters, which I guess could be cool, but
I'm not saying I wouldn't be interested in Universal as well. I'm just,
for sure.
It'll be interesting to see the dynamic between what gets the big parks fans going and what gets the lay person that's just wanting to go on vacation every once in a while going. I actually, if I'm right, then that means Disney parks won't be that crowded with all this new stuff, and we'll all get to walk around and see it very
right.
easily.
I can't get a reservation in DVC in December. It's all booked.
Of course, yeah.
Except
High
I
time,
think
man.
Old Key West, like 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms. I don't
And,
wanna
Oh,
do
that's
that.
why
great.
that's why you just go to Alani in January, like you're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts on the concrete stuff that's coming. Well, mostly concrete stuff that's coming out of the D23 announcements from this year. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in that comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. Hit subscribe if you are new, and just like the video because it does help out the channel. If you want to know when videos like this upload, hit the notification icon so you will be notified. For everybody here at Nod Club 33, have a great day.
The next station is Tomorrowland Urban Planning and Star Traders. Transfer to green and red lines.
Don't worry, your express train keeps on rolling through the future.